the runway visually, it should carry out a missed approach. That is, it should not make or effect a landing. And for Category 1, it's 200 feet. That is, at 200 feet, if an aircraft is flying in using the instrument landing system, he has positioned or aligned to the center of the runway, vertically well positioned in the profile of descent and landing, and at 200 feet is unable to see the runway visually, he should make a go around or carry out a missed approach procedure, that he should not land. And that is the best that equipment can bring you. Secondly, also for the Category 2 instrument landing system, that means it should bring him below 200 feet, but not less than 100 feet. And at that altitude, if he's unable to see the runway visually, he should carry out a missed approach procedure. For Cat 3, we have Category 3, A, B, and C. C is the best of the Category 3. And A and B brings you about 50 feet above the threshold of the runway. If unable, you carry out a go-around or a missed approach procedure, and then attempt another approach or landing, or divert to another airport. But for Category 3C, you basically down without any altitude, down to the touchdown zone or down to overhead the threshold, and you can land without any altitude limitation. It also has capacity to also guide you even on ground. After landing, guided taxi in terms of very low visibility. And that is very useful in weather conditions like thick dust haze, and also maybe thick fog, and also situations like snow in other countries. We develop what we call area navigation approaches. And then we also develop standard instrument departures for aircraft leaving the airports. And we also have what we call performance-based routes, PBN routes, that are also going to facilitate the direct flying of aircraft from one point to the other using satellite-based system. The limitation of the ground-based facilities is that you fly from one point to the other, from one source point navigational facility to the other. For example, an equipment is located in Lagos. You have to fly from Lagos to the one in Ibadan, from Ibadan to the one in Bida to Abuja. Now, NAMA has restructured the airspace to reduce flight time, reduce the distance that is flown between 2 points, and reduce fuel consumption, reduce workload for the flight crew. And these routes are based on what I call the same performance-based navigation using satellite system. It's the same location for any aircraft flying from any point. Once you use that coordinate, it can take you from one point to the other, and you don't need to fly from one equipment on ground to the other, and you don't need any ground-based equipment when you're flying. We implemented what we call Controller Pilot Data Link Communication System, CPDLC. It was implemented also in Lagos and in Kano on the 12th of November in Lagos, on the 19th of November in Kano. This is a performance-based communication capacity, and it is to mitigate the challenges we had with radio communication. You might have heard a few times here and there. Yes, those complaints were genuine. We had challenges in communication. We had to mitigate that. What we did was to provide another form of communication to mitigate that, and that is communication by data link. It has no limit in terms of range. You can contact an aircraft from even outside the Nigerian airspace.
It's the first time interior plane parts have been designed, manufactured and certified in the Middle East, and it's down to 3D printing. The 3D printed interior parts, a cabin screen, will be developed and used in Etihad planes, and it's being printed in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates.
The process we're using here is FDM, which stands for Fused Deposition Modeling. In this process, we take the geometry of the part that we want to manufacture, and we put that in a format that 3D printing machine uses. And after we load that file on the machine, the machine itself takes the material and build that part layer by layer. This is just a simple description of the process, but of course there are several steps in between. Even though it sounds like a simple process, many things have to go right to get the right geometry in terms of strength and properties. Therefore, the design and the manufacturing.
The pioneering project brings together 3 global players in aviation and industrial equipment manufacturing: STRATA Manufacturing, PJSC, Germany's Siemens AG, and Etihad Airways, the national flag carrier of the UAE.
Well, let's look at the 3 parameters. Speed to market. On demand, I can 3D print a solution for you. Let's look at cost. I don't need to carry any more excess inventory. And let's look at quality. Repeatability of the same product time and again through a 3D printer is what the world is looking for today. This is going to be a regional first for us. What's going to happen is that post this event and post this initiative, we're going to start focusing on our efforts to take it from inside the aircraft to outside the aircraft. And that has to be a world first.
This manufacturing affairs for the region comes against the backdrop of the Global Manufacturing and Industrialization Summit, which will take place in Abu Dhabi on the 27th to 30th of March 2017.
Well, 2017 is a transformation year for manufacturing, where we're going into this world of the 4th Industrial Revolution. This is going to shape the way that not just how we conduct business, but how we interact with one another, where everything is interconnected. So we don't talk about the Internet of Things, we talk about the Internet of Everything. And I do believe that the manufacturing sector is going to take the lead on this, just as it has done in the 3rd Industrial Revolution, or the 2nd Industrial Revolution, or even the 1st Industrial Revolution. So we're fortunate that Abu Dhabi is hosting such an important event, bringing the world together, governments, civil society, as well as manufacturers, to shape a future direction for where the manufacturing sector is going. Well, we represent the future. If you look at it, we have a ministry of the future. We have events where innovation is actually driving our industrial workforce and our industrial footprint. We believe in an interconnected economy. We work together with the rest of the world, and we believe that manufacturing is not any different. If you think about manufacturing today, it's not about countries, it's about value streams. And Abu Dhabi can play a critical role in that future value stream.
The pilot project to the United Arab Emirates aims to revolutionize the aerospace industry by allowing airlines to improve their designs and produce complex parts on demand rather than waiting for a long time for parts to be made and certified in Europe or elsewhere.
After the break, Arik Air scales operations to 30%. That's a news flash. Do join us again.